Hello everybody, thank you so much for joining me or for staying subscribed if you've waited. It's been about 3 weeks since I uploaded. I'm just going to do some one stroke today, and I'm just showing you this. This is the nail art paint from Nail Perfect, and I'll put a link somewhere at the top or in the description with a link to Dorota Palicka's channel, and she does a lot of nail art with one stroke and it's absolutely stunning. So it's her that inspired me to have a go at it, and I've got her brushes at Christmas. Don't know if you watched me opening my advent calendar, but I got these on Christmas Eve, so I've just had little bits of time practicing, do an hour and then go off and come back again. So because I've not been filming to let my fingers get better, I thought I'll rake these out and I'll just show you a few snippets from, mind you I'm saying a few, it's still 15 minutes long. So watch what bits you want to watch, and it's not to show you as an expert. There are others that are far better than me. I've just started, but I wanted to show you that we're not always spot on first time when we do things. It takes a lot. These people that you see that are absolutely perfect at it, they didn't do it instantly. I'm sure she'd agree. I think she said she'd done hundreds of hours painting to get to the standard that she's at. So yeah, so this is one of the first ones that I did. I put a couple on Instagram, just a couple of photos, and then I've done a few more since that. So I'm not showing them all in full length, but I'll show you at the end what I've actually achieved. And some I'm happy with and some are absolutely crap. But it's about getting the technique right, not only with the painting of it, but the consistency of the paint, whether it starts to feel dry on your brush. And you clean your brush with just water, just a little tap and dish with water in. And I did notice on one of the videos the other day, she said if it's warm water, that helps to clean your brush better. So when your brush starts to get a bit sort of cluttered up with it, she gives it a good clean and then pats it flat again, and then a little bit of moisture in your brush does help. So I'm doing the dot and dab technique. If you watch one stroke people painting on big paintings with flat brushes, they kind of drag it across and swirl it across. And I think Dorota does that a little bit, but most of the time she does like a dot and dab. So she's just touching a brush onto the nail. I'm just showing you cleaning it here, because it started to feel like I wasn't controlling it so well. So then very often there'll be little highlights put on it. So I've got my thin brush, but the thing to do with when you're doing the highlights, and I could tell with this I was doing it too thick, is to put quite a bit of water on, or put a little blob of water on your palette, and thin it down so that you're getting it really thin, because some of the nails you'll see at the end there's far too much white on it. It just looks cluttered. But I like the way I've got the two colours in the petals. So that's the main aim of it, when with two stroke, that you've got it graduating in colour from maybe light on the outside and dark in the middle, like buds and roses and things. They look like that. So that's the end result on that one. Just give it some top coat. So you let it dry in between. That's the beauty, and why I wanted to learn to paint with the acrylic paint, is that you've not got to like paint a petal and cure it, paint another petal and cure it, because you don't want to disturb it. It will dry. But if you do paint something on, you make a complete ash of it, because the under petals have dried, you'll be able to wipe the top one off if you're quick enough. But I think once you've mastered it, it's a pretty quick technique, because like I say, you've not got to wait in between. So this is how you mix it on your brush. So you've got your two colours on your brush, and I probably go a bit far, making sure, wiping it backwards and forwards, but it's about getting the knack, isn't it? I'm sure I'll get better with that. I don't think I need to dip into the paint every single time. I think I could have just reloaded my brush from what I'd actually spread out on the palette, but again, that's something to learn. Yeah, I think there's enough on there, so I'm like dabbing it up and then back down again. That's it. Stop putting more on. It's when you edit these, that's a good thing about doing YouTube, is when you edit it, you're watching yourself and you realise where you've gone wrong. So even if you're not doing YouTube, it might be an idea just to film what you're doing and then watch yourself back, and you'll see whether you're getting it on your fingers, whether you're using the right technique, or where you thought you could do it a bit better. But I think it's a good training aid to watch yourself, because while you're doing it, you're not really thinking about it. But when you watch yourself back, like I said, when we're editing it, you think, what did I do that for? Why didn't I just do that? So if you let it dry a little bit, you can go over it again. If you've not got it quite right, just let it dry and do it again. Now, that's better. A bit more darker in the middle. That's it. That's what we wanted. I was quite pleased with that little petal. Managed to get it really different in colour from top to bottom. If you dab it onto your nail too much, you'll just mix your colours together anyway. So yeah, I hope I'm not waffling too much. Some of you like me to chat and some of you like music, so we'll have this as a chatty one for now. So I'm not aiming for any particular sort of flower, just a blossom. Now I'm trying to do a bud here, so I'm going up, and then what I'm supposed to do is come down and close it, look. Do you think I did it? I don't think it was too bad. Yeah, I like that. Now, I've not done this for a few weeks because of giving my nails or fingers a rest. I didn't want to be using any gel polishes or anything at all, so I've actually ordered some coloured stick-on, press-on tips, so that I can just give them a buff and then practice my painting when I don't want to be using any gels or anything. And something else that I want to try is, because if I do a set on myself, I would want one on a feature nail on both hands. I'd have a right job doing this with my left hand. So what I think I want to try and do is make it like a decal. So I paint a top coat onto some silicone paper or something, and then maybe buff it a little bit or matte top coat it. Could do that. And then paint on there and then stick it on my other hand. What do you think? Do you think that'd work? See, I'm liking this. So I'm layering up the petals. And one more there. So I've got 5 on the outside and 3 on the inside. I think I'll stick at 3. Yeah, and some little buds. I just see that white's too thick. I should have watered it down. So that's something to remember when you're doing your lines. Water it down so it's really quite wet. And trying to make that look like the petals turned over a little bit at the top. So if that was a lot thinner, that white, I think that would have looked quite nice. I don't know if other people do this, but when you're doing your nail art, sometimes you go and think you need to keep adding bits, and then when you've done it, you think, oh, I wish I'd left it as it was. But that's quite pretty. Should we have some little lines? Yeah, we'll have some little lines. Some thick little lines. Oh dear. Oh, it's all right. You won't believe that's a fine liner brush, would you? Well, I've had to pick the bits out to put in the video that I've stayed in frame. Sometimes you get your head right over it, and I've like covered it with my hair at the screen, or been completely out of frame trying to watch what I'm doing. So if you've enjoyed the video or you're liking watching, please don't forget to click the like button, because that helps me enormously. I think I've got up to about 716 on subscribers, so if you are watching and you like coming back, please don't forget to click that button, because in the next couple of videos I'll be putting in what's going in my March addition to the advent calendar for the end of the year. So I've been looking through my drawers and seeing what I think I should add in. So if anybody's got any ideas on what you think you would like to see in the advent calendar, and I'll see what I can do. But please excuse my fingers. You can see why I'm giving them a rest, can't you? It's gone all hard and crusty under my fingernails. I shouldn't really point it out. I don't suppose, but I suppose you've already noticed. But they're feeling better, so that's a good thing. Lovely. And if you've got any ideas on what you'd like me to do next, then just pop details in the description box and I'll see what I can do. Comments box, I mean. That's quite pretty, isn't it? I like the way they look like they're curling. Yeah, I think this was the last one that I did. Right, so I'm going to leave voiceover now, and I'll just leave you with a little description of what I ended up with at the end of it. So stay tuned. Right, so these are the three I've done tonight. I've did a bit of it on camera and a bit not. First one, I painted too much white on it, but I did like the bud. That one, not too bad, but the middle's too big for the rest of the rose, I think. Yeah. And then this one, I quite like, apart from the leaves are rubbish. But it's pretty enough. And then in total, since I started practicing, that was the first ones that I put on Instagram. So I did that one, and then that, strange shape, enchantment lily, hibiscus, rubbish, and that one which I quite liked. Quite liked that one. Don't know why. Just like the colours. I didn't mind the buds. And to say that was in the middle. Yeah. Anyway, I've enjoyed that. I'll keep going. Right, I'm yawning. Night night. Love you loads. Bye.